Hey friends, Salta here. Welcome back. If you have been thinking about going solar, buying an electric vehicle, or making your home more energy efficient, we need to talk. Because Donald Trump's new law could cost you thousands of dollars, and some families are going to get hit way harder than others. So today we're talking about something that sounds boring, but it hits hard. What happens when clean energy tax credits vanish? And more importantly, who loses when that support disappears? And what can you do to protect yourselves from rising energy costs? Stick around because we will break it down in plain English, talk about how this affects your wallet, your neighbors, and your ability to stay cool in a heat wave or warm during a blizzard. And here's the deal. In 2022, the US passed a big climate and energy law called the Inflation Reduction Act. It offered tax credits for homeowners who wanted solar panels, electric heat pumps, insulation, basically anything to cut energy costs and clean up your carbon footprint. But now in 2025, under the new administration, things are shifting. The House and the Senate passed the so-called Big Beautiful Bill that would eliminate most of the clean energy tax credits you've been hearing about. Now this bill is officially law. We're talking about the 30% solar tax credit for homeowners and $7,500 electric vehicle tax credit and a whole bunch of other incentives that help make clean energy affordable for everyone. Well, you might be thinking that, well, rich people get those tax credits anyway. That is true and not entirely true. Here's the thing. When those tax credits disappear, it is not the wealthy who suffer the most. It is everyone else. And your energy bill, they're probably going to rise. You will not hear them say it out loud, but this kind of rollback does not hit everyone equally. So the tax credits are not just helping rich folks buy fancy solar panels. They are creating an entire market that makes clean energy cheaper for everyone. Think about it like this. When Apple sells 1 million iPhones, the price goes down for everyone because of economies of scale. Solar panel costs have dropped 80% in the last decade. Battery prices down to nearly 90%. This didn't happen by accident. It happened because government incentives helped create a massive market. And also the technology improved significantly. But what happens when you suddenly pull the rug out from under that market? Well, that is where things get interesting and expensive. So who actually gets hurt when these credits disappear? Let me paint you a picture. Number one, working families. These are folks who would love to save money on energy, but do not have the $20,000 laying around to go solar. Tax credits made it possible to lower upfront costs. Without them, installing clean energy tech becomes a luxury item. So if it was expensive before, it becomes even more expensive now. Number two, renters and low-income households. Now you might think, well, I cannot put solar panels on my roof anyway because I rent or I can't afford. But here's the thing. There are programs called community solar where you can buy a share of a big solar farm and get credits on your electric bill. The problem with the incentives going away is that now renters alone and low-income households are stuck with older, less efficient appliances, leaky windows, and drafty walls. No tax credit equals no upgrade equals higher bills. Number three, rural households. Out in the countryside, the grid is often weaker. Outages last longer, and home batteries or solar could offer real independence. But when credits disappear, that option gets a lot more expensive. That is just one problem. A lot of the rural areas have been revitalized by clean energy jobs. Wind technicians, solar installers, manufacturing workers. When projects lose their financing because tax credits disappear, those jobs go away too. Number four, seniors on fixed incomes. And here's a group that really gets forgotten. Older Americans on fixed incomes. They spend a bigger chunk of their money on energy than anyone else. When electricity prices go up because there's less clean energy being built, they feel it first and worst. Heat pumps, solar, weatherization becomes less affordable without the tax credits. So while the big players such as utilities, fossil fuel companies, and lobbyists keep their profits, everyday folks are the ones left holding the bill, literally. Here's what happens when clean energy tax credits disappear. Fewer solar installations mean less competition for traditional utilities. Less competition means higher prices. It's just basic economics. The solar industry is already warning that this law will lead to higher electricity prices and fewer jobs. We're talking about 250,000 jobs at risk, according to industry estimates. The worst part is the grid keeps getting more expensive, more fragile, and more polluting. And your electric bill doesn't just go up because there's less solar. It goes up because we're missing a massive opportunity. Electricity demand is about to explode. We're talking about data centers for AI, electric vehicles, and heat pumps are going to define the next decade. And lest we forget, climate change brings more extreme weather, which means higher demand for electricity, more air conditioner in the summer, and more heating in the winter. If you do not build enough clean energy to meet that demand, guess what happens to prices? They go through the roof. And unlike the wealthy people who can afford to install solar panels and battery storage to protect themselves, everyone else gets stuck paying whatever the utility charges. Okay, that's a lot of doom and gloom. But let's talk about solutions because you're not powerless. Number one, use what is left of the incentives right now. Some states and local programs are still active. Some utilities still offer rebates, and the federal government has not rolled everything back yet. If you're thinking about going solar, you've got until the end of this year, 2025, to still qualify for the 30% federal tax credit if you buy solar panels and install them this year. Remember, solar panels last 25 to 30 years, so you're essentially prepaying for decades of electricity at today's prices. But here's the thing, do not panic buy. Do your homework. Approach it carefully. Number two, look at community solar programs in your area. You basically buy a subscription to a solar farm and get credits on your electric bill. In some states, it is still eligible for incentives, so do your research. Number three, focus on energy efficiency. This is the boring stuff that actually saves the most money. LED bulbs, smart thermostats, better insulation, sealing air leaks. None of this stuff is sexy, but it can cut your energy bill by about 20 to 30%. Number four, consider time of use electricity rates. Many utilities offer cheaper electricity during certain hours. If you can shift your energy use, run your dishwasher at night, charge your phone during off-peak hours, you can save money even if overall rates go up. Number five, start building your emergency fund for energy costs. I know nobody wants to think about this, but if energy prices are going up, having some extra cash set aside for higher bills gives you options. Number six, get informed and speak up. Local and state policies still matter. Showing up at a city meeting or writing to your utility can actually help. Seriously. Utilities count customer feedback when they design new programs. Look, I am not trying to scare you, but I am trying to prepare you. The families who weather these changes best are the ones who see them coming and plan accordingly. Here's the thing that really frustrates me about this whole situation. Clean energy is not about saving the planet, though that is nice too. It is about energy independence. It's about stable, predictable energy costs. It's about not being at the mercy of utility companies or oil prices or whatever geopolitical crisis is happening this week. Energy prices means everyone, not just the wealthy, has access to clean, affordable power. When you generate your own power, when your community has its own clean energy resources, you're not just reducing your bills. You're taking control of one of the biggest household expenses. Cutting tax credits while fossil fuel subsidies remain untouched. That's not equality. That's just very backward. We don't have to sit back and watch our energy bills climb while clean energy support disappears. We still have tools. We still have choices. So here's what I want you to do. Use the tax credits before they're taken away. Install what you can and claim the federal tax credit by the end of this year. Insulate what you can. Speak up. Vote for leaders who care about affordable clean energy for everyone. Check out the resources I've linked in the description. There's a community solar finder, energy efficiency calculator, and a guide to evaluating solar quotes. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and share this with someone who is tired of high bills and wants to stay ahead of the curve. Let me know in the comments what changes have you made to lower your energy costs. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.